rallies, news talk, and podcasts. Talk Central Phoenix, a Central City radio station.
It's time for the Chips and Salsa Show.
The only show about Latinos for Latinos. And did we mention Latinos?
It's the Latísima.
Latinos come in all flavors, shapes, and sizes. You don't have to be Latino to enjoy chips and salsa.
Siempre love chips and salsa.
And guess what time it is? It's time for another Tuesday 4 p.m. edition of the Chips and Salsa Show. I am Alice Lara. I'm here with my partner in radio crime,
Don Jorge El Alacran. I'm back.
Yes, the Scorpion King. He's back.
Scorpion
King. I almost did like a Joe Biden thing on there. Scorpion King, secret whisper. But he is. And we're so excited. Okay, as you can see, we had a scheduled guest today, Maria Birnbaum, and we're going to tell you what that was going to be about in a little bit. But she had to go somewhere else at the last minute, so that's okay. We'll be rescheduling her. But it's all right, because you know what? You and I haven't done a show together in a long time.
I know.
And we got plenty to talk about. What's the word you like to use?
A plethora of stuff to talk about.
A plethora of things to talk about. So no worries. So now while we're getting started, Chipsters, we would appreciate it. Please share the show. Tell your friends about it. It's going to be a very exciting one. And we got something different today. We got 2 cameras. So if you're watching us Facebook, like right now I'm on there. Hello. And then later you're going to see when the George is talking, because there he is. There's George now. Woo, very snazzy there. Thank you to Julian Allison, owner, creator of Central City Radio, Talk Central Phoenix. And we're so glad that you tuned in today. George, I got something that I want to play first off, or maybe should we do the announcements? We're going to play because here's something that we are going to talk about today, because Cuomo is no more.
He's no more Cuomo.
Here's something.
He is not above the law. He needs to be held accountable. He needs to be prosecuted. He is a serial predator. He's a serial abuser. He's a serial liar. He's a criminal. He broke state and federal laws. New Yorkers want to make sure that justice is served. He needs to still be held accountable for the 15,000 nursing home deaths, group home deaths, and he needs to return that $5.1 million that he made, that his staff helped to write that book while New Yorkers' businesses were crushed, and he lied and covered up about the nursing home deaths. So this is a start. This is good, but New York.
So that is a start. So I was watching, I believe that was on Newsmax today, and the person that you just heard, that was Liz Joy. She is a congressional candidate, Republican, New York. So I thought that was a real good wrap-up of the Cuomo situation, which George and I will talk more about that.
Yes.
But that's Cuomo. Looks like no mo in about 14 days. George, our guest, Maria Birnbaum, unfortunately she couldn't make it today.
Aww.
She is a longtime chipster. We love her. She is the field director. Let me see, I want to get her title right. I believe she is the West Valley field director for the Susan B. Anthony organization. And real quick, I just want to tell you guys, Susan B. Anthony list, they're hiring pro-lifers to go to door, and what they do is they conduct a simple survey on pro-life issues with Arizona voters, and they're paid $15 an hour. That's not bad.
That's pretty good.
You know, it is hot out there, but it's going to be nice pretty soon, so you can get your training on and all that stuff. Plus, they reimburse you 30 cents a mile, so it's not a bad deal. Travel hours flexible. You can do up to 40 hours a week. You must be 16, but that's not bad. And you're able to abide by strict reporting requirements and in harmony with the pro-life mission. You can contact Maria, and when we reschedule her, she'll tell us much more about this, but it's a great pro-life organization, and she's a fantastic lady. I think she does the training. If I needed a job, I'd certainly go here, because this is a great job too. You're doing well. But you can contact Maria Birnbaum. That's BRNBAUM, and that's Maria MARIA at SBA. That stands for Susan B. Anthony. Listfield.org. Again, that's Maria at SBA Listfield.org, or just call her. 480-510-8704. 480-510-8704.
That's what I would do. Just call.
Yeah, just call. Yeah, you're a caller. It's also a good way to meet Republicans. You know, I'm sure you get fellow monthly Republicans there as well, too. Monthly Republicans. I got in my month, because speaking of monthly, we're having our LD27 monthly meeting tonight. Afterwards, I think, George, you're going to join us?
I may.
You should. If you live in the South Phoenix area, or even if you don't and you'd like to travel a little bit, we are having our meeting at the formerly Latinos for Trump Center, which is at 2070 East Baseline. I got that right?
Yes,
right, George?
2070 East Baseline.
And we're right there. We're right close to the Bank of America by the Sun Asian Restaurant. And just get there I'd get there about 6, 7. We kind of have a good meet and greet.
Yep.
I'm going to be filling in for the secretary tonight, so I'll be up front, and maybe George can hang out with me too. It's always a potluck, so you'll get fed as
I'll
well
sign
too.
T-shirts and hats and.
Oh, you'll bring your autograph pen.
Yeah, I
that
have
great
my
big
autograph
giant one
pen,
that you have. Yeah, okay.
I will be there, and Don Jorge.
Woo!
I won't have no scorpions with me.
So it'd be worth it just to show up and do that. We always have very good speakers. You're going to get to meet some fellow Republicans there in Legislative District 27. So we want to invite you to go there. Also, what's going on right now, too, as far as announcements, the Mike Lindell Symposium is on. Have you been watching any of that, George? Started today?
No, I haven't. But I've heard of it.
My husband, Mark, was tuning in, and there's a lot of very, very interesting information. I understand it's going to go on for about 3 days. Right? So if you can, you might want to tune in and see what's happening there. They would not let him run the commercials for that on Fox News, right? But Newsmax, I think, let him. So he pulled all his commercials. That's millions of dollars. You don't mess around with this dude.
He's got money.
He's got money, and, being I hesitate to say this or not, but being an ex-crack addict, he knows his stuff. He's tenacious.
Yep.
Anyway, so we got birthdays. Guess whose birthday's today, George?
Whose birthday is today?
Today is Raylene Gonzalez's birthday. Happy birthday. Do you know who that is?
Oh, no.
Oh, you just can't remember. Our good original buddy, Martin Gonzalez, who originally was one of in the Molcajete people here on the Chips and Salsa Show, came up with a name for the Chips and Salsa Show. His wife is Raylene Gonzalez.
Oh, okay.
Happy birthday, Raylene.
Yeah.
Whippersnapper lady.
Whippersnapper lady.
Yeah, yesterday was Dr. Carl's birthday. By the way, we had Dr. Carl on last weekend, so if you missed that show, go on to the Central City Radio app if you have it. If you haven't, download it, and you can listen to the show, and you'll love it. It was a really very interesting show. Another thing we were thinking about doing with him, we might employ his dream interpretation skills.
Well, you can call with a dream, and we'll have him diagnose it and put it on the air.
Yeah, he'll interpret it for you.
Or interpret it.
And we're figuring out if we should do something on the air or... Well, he is a doctor, so I see how you got to confuse the diagnosis.
I think it'd be a little bit of both. It would be nice on air, on really good ones, and then maybe have them recorded on other ones.
So we'll, stay tuned. We're still working the details out because he does work also.
A work in process.
But his birthday was yesterday, so belated happy birthday, Carl. We hope you had a great one. Tomorrow is another chipster friend of ours, Reverend Clyde Bowen, and his birthday's tomorrow. Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, Clyde.
And real quickly, we want to say the whole enchilada was a gold medalist, Tamra Mensah.
That was a...
Mensah? I don't like to say Mensa because that sounds like dumb in Spanish.
She represents our country so eloquently.
Fantastic. But the other one for the Cocatazo is the Chicago Mayor, Lori Lightfoot. Okay, we just have a few seconds left. We got all the stuff out of the way, so we come back. It's time for Heavy Duty Topics. So go on Facebook if you have questions or comments, and I've got my laptop today, so we're going to be checking that out. So don't go away. Tell your friends about us, and we'll be right back with more of the Chips and Salsa Show here on Central City Radio, Talk Central Phoenix. I'm Alice Lara with
Don Jorge.
Come back, because we got to guac and talk some more, all right?
Chips and salsa.
Well, sir, while I may not agree with what you say, I'll defend to the death your right to say it.
For some reason.
And we are here at the Chips and Salsa Show, back for our second segment. I'm Alice Lara, aquí con
Don Jorge.
And we're so glad that you tuned in today. We've got a great show, lots of topics to talk about. And I want to say, we're really excited about this. But starting today, guess what? We have a new sponsor for the Chips and Salsa Show. Woo! Yeah. We're so excited to welcome Frontera Telecommunications. Do you need internet? I'm reading this. Make your life easier. Come to our store and we will help you and advise you which is the best package. It's a convenient company for you. I'm just reading it straight on here. So we usually, what we like to do is intro our sponsor with a little interview. However, Christina could not be with us today. She got too busy, so I said we'll just give you a shout out, and then you'll be hearing the commercials on a regular basis starting next week. They are located Frontera, that's Fontera. I thought it was Frontera, like the border, but it is Frontera, Fontera. It's inside Ranch Market, 5802 West Thomas Road, so it's about 59th Avenue and Thomas in Phoenix. You can call them, George. You can call them at 623-845-9411, 623-845-9411. They also offer cable TV services, cellular phone services, home security, etc. One more little thing I asked her, I said, well, why would I come to you if I'm already all set up, or if I'm thinking, what's the advantage? And she said, Alice, if you come to us, we're going to look at your situation, and we're going to look at all the different deals out there, and we can advise you so you can get the best deal possible. I thought, well, why not?
And
right?
That's good. That's like going to a doctor, or going to a place that professionally does that, and they can assist you professionally, because there might be things that you forget and things that you don't know about the cable TV or the internet that they can assist you, and it's worth a try. And we guarantee that this sponsor will treat you good.
Yes. Absolutely. And we'll have her on in studio. I know her personally,
and I vouch for her.
Right. And we'll have her on in studio whenever she's available next. But just watch for those commercials and try her out. Let us know what's going on.
Yes.
Frontera Communications. George, you have an announcement that I'm going ahead and toss it to him, even though it's our Greater Phoenix Republican Women's Club, but you're a part of it too. So go for it. Tell us all about it.
Yes. They're going to have a happy hour. We're going to have a happy hour. Meet the candidates for U.S. Senator, Governor, Secretary of State, Attorney General, Superintendent of Public Education, Corporation Commission, State Legislator. These are all candidates that are going to be there. It's at Gallagher's Sports Grill on 3220 East Baseline Road in Phoenix. So you can download it. If you don't have it on Google, download it, and they'll tell you. It's right there next to the center anyway. It's Gallagher Sports Grill, 3220 East Baseline Road in Phoenix. Reservations are required, but you can walk there, but you'll have to probably pay at the door. A great opportunity to meet.
He means walk in. I don't think you have to walk. Oh, it sounded like you're just going to walk.
It's a great opportunity to meet our federal, statewide, legislative Republican candidates in one location on one day. It's August the 20th. August the 20th, next Saturday. I think
Friday.
It's next Saturday.
It's Friday, actually. Friday.
Yeah, next Friday, right. I'm thinking Saturday, I don't know why. But August the 20th from 4 to 7 p.m. So make time. Come out to the happy hour and meet the candidates. There's a host bar. Appetizers are provided. They have dining room menus available. It's going to be a great event. It's
we
$10.
give good happy hours, don't we, George?
Yeah, it's $10 for non-members, $7 for the GPRW members.
The Greater Phoenix Republican Women. That's us.
So come on out. It's, again, August the 20th from 4 to 7 p.m. at Gallagher Sports Grill, 3220 East Baseline Road in Phoenix. It's right next to the Trump Center, which is down the same
Well,
block.
not right next to the Trump Center. Trump Center is 24th Street, so it's 32nd Street.
This is
in
more
Baseline.
32nd.
Yeah, and we'll
come
announce
on
it again next
nice.
week. Yeah. Gallagher's is nice, and
Gallagher's a nice location out there.
They give us like a really big area, and the food is good, very good. And you can, if you want to order a separate meal, fine. We're going to have appetizers provided. It's. Did you tell them how much it costs? Did it have it on here?
Yeah, it says $7 for members, $10 for non-members. That's cheap, and you get to meet the candidate too. I mean, you can't go wrong.
It's a great way because it's very informal atmosphere.
And it's on a Friday.
We'll
Good
go talk
day.
to them. We'll have some time at the mic. So yeah, hope to see you there. And you're going to be there? No, you can't be there, huh?
I have to work the Cardinals game. So
the hardest working man in Arizona. That's our George.
Yeah,
our Don Jorge.
Cardinals just happen to have a Friday game. This one.
Oh shoot!
I have to work.
Shoot, it's too bad. But
I'll be at the next one. Believe you me. because I won't be working every Friday.
Oh, and you know what? I don't know if I could spill the beans on this yet, but our September meeting, we've got a great guest. I'll find out during the commercial break if I can tell you who it is. No, it's not Trump, but it's a really good guest that I know you'll want to go to. So we'll keep you in suspense for that one.
She's
George.
teasing us again, people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So let me see. Don't let me forget. I got to call and find out.
See what I have to live with? Mm-hmm. She teases us.
That's right. That's right. But another person who does more than teasing, and now he's quitting, is Cuomo. No mo. Cuomo.
I loved it when I read the news that he had stepped down.
Gosh.
He's just maybe New York will just get a little bit better. Who knows? But it's another Democrat taking over, so I don't know.
Well, when
we have to have the elections, and we'll put a Democrat. I mean, we'll put a Republican.
George.
We'll put a Republican in that office. You know?
George, I was watching Gutfield last night, and they had the Republican guy that's running for what's his name? The Guardian Angel guy, Silwa. I think it's Chris Silwa, and it would be so cool for him to win. Because, oh my goodness, it would be so cool if he could win. So there's theories floating around because all of a sudden, these women came forward, and a lot of people thought, he's not going to step down. There's no way. Then, boom, today, all of a sudden. And, he doesn't have a lot of Democrats that have his back, it looks like. Do you know any Democrats that are sticking up for him? Besides maybe his brother?
It's like Epstein. Epstein had a lot of people on his side, but boy, they were jumping off the ship when they started accusing him, and he had to go to court. Even that the one from California, Weinberger, what's his name?
Weinstein. Or something, yeah.
He had a lot of friends. Everybody was his friend until he got charged, and then they were jumping off the ship like looking for life rafts.
Yeah, so theories are, they didn't want him to run for president or something. Then also, there's a little thing hanging over his head, too, the nursing home deaths from COVID. And, a lot of people call him, Chris Salcedo, I love watching Chris Salcedo. He's liberty-loving Latino, which we steal because we're liberty-loving Latinos also. He calls him COVID Cuomo.
COVID Cuomo.
So what do you think? What's your theory on why he actually, and so quick, man, no time wasted, he stepped down?
Why he stepped down? The pressure. The Attorney General's looking into it. I mean, they got commissions now looking into it. His own people were telling him, it's time you step down. When he gets to that level, You don't
think it has anything to do with the nursing home deaths?
The nursing home?
No, nursing home
this is his
You
groping.
think it's strictly because of the groping?
Yeah, they have some hard evidence against him now.
So why, if that's the case, so you think that maybe the pressure didn't come right away? Because remember, he made that whole video and he had the little film where I do this with everybody. That's just my culture. Then a few days later, he changes his mind. What happened?
I think they had a special. What do they call that? Where they go to court? Grand jury. I think there's a grand jury behind it that's looking into it, or they already looked into it. For the Attorney General to come out and say that.
Well, they had investigated. You're right.
So
Attorney General,
I think the pressure was great. He might have looked at it and said, "You know what? Let me get out of this and try to see if I can come out unscathed." But I hope they charge him. I hope they go to court, and I hope the truth comes out. Because he did, what he did is bad. His brother is another one that they got to boot out of CNN, but they probably won't. But I get the Comos out of there, period.
Get them out of there.
Sorry, people, but Como no mo.
Como no mo. That's what we decided.'re going to call him it's actually Cuomo, right? Cuomo no mo.
Como no mo. I like that.
As you're talking about investigations, also here in the city of Phoenix, the DOJ is investigating City of Phoenix Police Department.
I don't know what all that about. I saw articles about that, and I go, it's something. Why is the DOJ investigating a police department unless there's some really, really... They love coming after Arpaio when the Obamas were in office, but... now Biden's in office and the DOJ is coming after the Phoenix Police Department? What are they going to do? Disband the police department? What are they going to have? Nothing. They got to leave our police department alone. Yeah, investigate crimes when they occur. If there's a bad cop, these just stand trial. But come on.
That's our local police. But you made a good...
It sounds like, we're sounding like California people. Don't California or Arizona. And I have a pen that says that. And that's what's happening here. They're making this into a California. People, beware. We got to stop this, nip it in the bud.
You made a good observation, though, because Obama, which I think Biden's kind of like Obama 2 point whatever you want to call it. And
Obama's
all of a sudden,
Biden.
now, our own, if I got this right, I hope I got this right, City Councilman Sal DeCiccio, good friend and chipster of our Chips and Salsa show, he's like, what? Bring it. Bring it. Go ahead and bring it. We have, unfortunately, within the city of Phoenix, some of our city council members are not huge supporters of the police department. That's not with Sal. Councilman DeCiccio is a big supporter of police. We here are big supporters of police. In fact, I just booked Darren Birch. Darren Birch is our good friend. He's a retired veteran Phoenix police. I think he was a sergeant, and he wrote a book, Twisted But True, and he's going to be on with us. We're so booked, I think, in the next month or so. But yeah, I think that was a good observation. Okay, we're down to our last 45 seconds. We got stuff coming up. We still got to talk about the border. We got to talk about vaccinations, maybe. Infrastructure bill, the Lindell Symposium. What else we got to talk about? Anything else? Have I left anything off?
I want to mention my son, but we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, Georgie. We got to talk about Sergeant Georgie. I'm sorry I call you that, but I just remember you as Georgie.
Staff Sergeant.
Staff Sergeant George. But don't go away, because we'll be right back with more of the Chips and Salsa Show. I'm Alice Lara with
Don Jorge.
Here on Central City Radio, Talk Central Phoenix. Download that app if you haven't already, and guac on.
That's the smartest thing I've ever heard anyone say about anything.
And we are back with the Chips and Salsa Show. I am Alice Lara with
Don Jorge with half of the Chips and Salsa.
That's right.
I'm one
That's
half.
right. You're the chips and I'm the salsa?
Yeah, there we go.
We could take turns at that.
Salsa.
Because here we let the chips fall where they may. We're here every Tuesday at 4 p.m. on Central City Radio, Talk Central Phoenix. Tell your friends about us. We exist because you know what? We're brown. We're liberty-loving Latinos. And we want to remind you that we are Republicans, conservatives. We're not Democrats. Used to be, no more.
Have you noticed I'm getting browner and browner and browner?
Yeah, nice little tan there, buddy.
Standing out there in the sun for hours.
Ooh, doggy, yeah. So no.
Then with the white hair, it really did.
Wow, no,
brown,
you had a good tan.
Yeah, the brown hair look. I mean, the brown skin comes out.
Did you used to have brown hair or black hair?
Brown.
It was brown. Has it always been white? When did you turn gray?
I think 30, since I was 30, about 40 years ago.
You're like me.
People, I'm not that old, really. Really, I'm getting younger.
He's getting young. He's going back in time. I got my first gray when I was 19. Scary.
Couldn't tell.
Okay, and it's time to switch subjects to Mr. Don Jorge has an announcement about his wonderful son who's in the Army.
Yes.
Take it away.
He was because he's assigned to Texas, Fort Bliss, but the last couple of weeks he's been at home doing online studying for the drill sergeant school because he's going to drill sergeant. He's applied for drill sergeant. He's a staff sergeant now, and he's in line to be sergeant first class. So at the same time he's going over there, around November he'll probably be a sergeant. He's a staff sergeant. He'll be sergeant first class is the next step up.
So that's the next step up from he's a staff sergeant right now?
Staff sergeant, and then you go sergeant first class, and then you go up from there.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
He's taking drill sergeant, so he'll be a drill sergeant. Staff sergeant is a drill sergeant or sergeant first class. Anyway, he'll have different insignias on his arm. Starting next week, he's going to fly over there to North Carolina.
Actually, I see it's Fort Jackson. That's where he's going?
Yeah, Fort Jackson.
So it says Fort Jackson is a United States Army installation, and it's in the city of Columbia, South Carolina.
Oh, South Carolina.
It's got the Carolina.
Okay,
right.
So it's South Carolina. And he'll be there for about a month and a half during the school. It's like basic training again, but for drill sergeants. So everybody, all the students coming from across the United States and from other countries that are in the Army are all they're usually sergeants and staff sergeants that are training for being a drill sergeant. I think there's maybe 80 to 100 of them, or maybe 110. I think he mentioned something like 80 of them that were online with him. But I saw pictures of previous classes, and they looks like over about 100 students, and they're all training for the same thing, to be drill sergeants. So they get the best of the best there. So he's going, and we'll fly out there in October. Yeah, October the 1st and 2nd is when he graduates. So we'll be out there for the graduation, and it should be a great event. And then he'll come back, and then he'll go back there for 2 years to be a drill sergeant for 2 years, and then.
Well, that's awesome. He's making quite a career of the military, isn't he? How long has he been there?
He's been 9 years. He's
already
he's completed 9 years, and he's getting his third stripe, because he's each stripe is 3 years on his dress uniform, and he's got 2. He's going to get the next one pretty soon, as well as his insignia for drill sergeant. And then he wants to be an instructor, a drill sergeant instructor.
Oh, cool.
So that's another step that he's thinking about the future. And that's another emblem that you put on the other side that says instructor, so that when they look at you say, well, he's just not a drill sergeant, he's the mero chingon.
That's right.
The main dude, because you got drill sergeants and you got the drill sergeant instructors.
We're a digital show, so we can say things like chingon. It's okay. Chingon. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. The mero chingon. He is.
Mero.
People that know Latin know what I'm talking about. The mero chingon.
It's so cool because I met Georgie. Of course, you and I have been friends for a long time, and he was just a teenager when I met him. And what an impressive young man. He chose the Army for his military career.
He moved up fast.
I know you're very proud of him, and I'm honored to know him. And please, the next time you see him, remind him that Mark and I thank him for his service. I know all the chipsters do.
And
very supportive.
He said that at the base, I think there's the 2 main people. He's one of them, and so he's been sorely missed while he's gone. But even though he's the staff sergeant, he does a lot, and he loves his job. He loves what he's doing. He's a great learner. He's always studying, and I'm proud of him. The whole family's proud of him, and his friends, people that know him, are proud of him. He works out a lot. He's very built, and he trains recruits how to work out, and PTs. He can outrun anybody. He just one
must
kid
be in
came
excellent shape.
In the whole platoon, one kid was faster than him. And that speaks volumes. Over 100 kids there, or servicemen, and only one person's faster than him. It's like, that tells you a lot of his physical ability. It surprised me because, I know a lot of soldiers that run track. For him to tell me that, I don't doubt it. But it's nice to hear, and I think he's going to learn a lot in the drill sergeant school. They teach you a lot, and it's like boot camp, and they treat you a little harder than they treat regular boot camp people, because they expect more out of you, because you're going to be a drill sergeant somewhere in the United States. So that's why I'm looking forward to the graduation, because I want to meet some of his fellow soldiers, because when he became staff sergeant, he came from Japan to Fort Gordon, and he graduated. We went for the graduation, and there were nothing but sergeants there. A few staff sergeants that had attended the class because they had to, but these were sergeants that were moving up to be staff sergeants, and I was impressed by the group of students there. They weren't just regular privates. These were sergeants that were moving up to be sergeant staff sergeants, and it was a great graduation. And this is going to be a great graduation because it's going to be drill sergeants graduating, soldiers graduating to be drill sergeants. That's higher than the staff sergeant. You're going to be the trainer of all these new recruits coming in, and that's why they call you a drill sergeant. He gets to wear like a cowboy hat.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like a cowboy. I call it a cowboy hat. He laughed at me, but it looks like a cowboy hat. Like the DPS officers, they have these hats.
Oh, like almost ranger looking.
Yeah, like a ranger hat, and that's when he's doing the drill sergeant stuff. he has to have that hat on, and that's part of the uniform for the drill sergeant.
Well, if he ever makes it back here, maybe he can come in the studio and talk to us.
Yeah, he's come on the studio before. He doesn't talk politics, but he does
tell us about his
encourage
experience in the
kids
military.
or young men going into the service, what to look for. And that's how we interviewed him. He was talking about what the pros and cons of the military were. And it was a great interview. And maybe we'll have him do that in the future, because he can't talk politics. I mean, they don't allow the soldiers to talk politics as they're serving, but they're good for inspiration to talk to young men that are in high school level, or even the post college level, right at the beginning, where they're still thinking about going in, because it's a certain age limit that they go into. But I think it would be a great. I think he'd come on our show. I don't know.
We're asking him here live on the air, and when you see him, tell him.
Georgie, we're asking you.
Talked to you in a long time. I know, George, and I call him Georgie. I feel kind of silly, but that's when I knew him. It was Georgie, so I can't call him Sergeant Georgie. Sorry.
He showed me the new uniform that they're changing to, from the blue uniform. They're turning to a brown, like the old.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it looks really sharp. Wow. But I like the blue uniform, the dress uniform.
Blues are sharp.
The brown looks old, like from the World War.
Old fashioned.
Yeah, old fashioned. The women's look nice too.
He'll still look good. He'll wear it well.
Yeah,
these guys are in
by 2028. They're all going to be using that uniform, but now it's optional as they're getting the uniforms to the service.
And of course, we're talking about, in case you just tuned in, he's in the Army.
Yes.
So that's the military branch of service that he's in. But boy, I just can't believe he's been in there that long. How exciting! 9
years. I can't believe it either. He wants to go 20. He's talking 35 years now, and I was like, George, you know how old I'll be? 35? I'm in my 80s with a walker, maybe. I don't know.
Still driving to wherever he is.
Hopefully, I'll be as young as I am now.
You might be. You might be. Do you know that William Shatner, Captain Kirk, he's 90 years old?
I know, and he doesn't look 90.
No, he looks good.
He looks older, but not 90 years old. I think 90 years old, you're in a walker or you're in a wheelchair or something. But no, there's people that are in 80s and 90s and they don't look it. I know a master sergeant, a good friend of mine, Grant, and he was a master sergeant. He doesn't look like he's in his 80s and stuff, but he was in special forces. He's a good friend, and he looks older than he did when he was younger, but.
In our last minute, I just want to mention that, just like our own former President Trump looked great, and now Mr. Joe Biden, there's just no comparison, and he's actually old. No, let's see. Joe Biden's a little bit older than President Trump.
Well, Trump was like, 77 or something?
I think he's going to be 70. Okay, we'll get that age right for you, like 74.
And I think Biden is in his 70s, too.
Yeah, but there's no comparison. Trump's so much better.
Trump looks a lot younger than Biden.
And he thinks, and there's no comparison. Okay, and there's no comparison because the show's going so quick, and we've got one more segment left. We've got some more topics. Don't go away. Stay with us, please. I'm Alice Lara here with
Don Jorge.
We'll be right back with more of the Chips and Salsa Show here on Central City Radio. Talk Central Phoenix. Walking and talking. Thank you, Chipsters. Stay tuned.
Can I listen too?
You got it. Take it away. Eso.
We love Chips and Salsa. Can you listen to? Can you watch too? Yes, because we'll let you. I'm Alice Lara here with. Who's your name?
We love Chips and Salsa. I love Chips and Salsa. Yeah.
And what's your name?
My name is Don Jorge, and I love Chips and Salsa.
His name is Don Jorge, and he loves Chips and Salsa. And I love it too. We're here every Tuesday, 4 p.m. Tell your friends about us. We have a brand new sponsor, Frontera Communications. So you'll hear more about that. And please tune in every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Here, you can watch us on Facebook, the Chips and Salsa Facebook page, or Talk Central Facebook page. Or you can download the free app, Central City Radio app, and boom. You can go back and listen to us on the podcast. It's so awesome. It's free. Why wouldn't you want to do it? Right on. And we may be having a dream interpretation segment. So lots going forward, and we're here to talk some more politics in our last segment. George, should we talk about the border disorder, the infrastructure bill? What do you want to talk about?
Well, the border, what bothers me is that we're getting a lot of COVID positive tests coming from the border, from people crossing the border. They got to clamp down on the people coming in. This is something. This involves the security of our nation. They're testing people at school. They're testing people in sports. They're testing people all over. Why not put some kind of restriction of people coming across the border if they test positive? I mean, why? It's like they're sending them in, and it's scary. It's scary what we're getting, and this is just, you're asking for trouble, and they're telling us that this is happening, and the numbers are increasing. It's the worst amount of people crossing into our country than ever before. Just last month, it's sad. It's sad that it's gotten to this, and I blame the Biden administration for this.
George, I was watching, I believe it was the Salsa show, Bets. That's all I talk about, huh? Can you tell that I'm kind of a fan? And he had, and you know what? It might have been Greg Kelly. I'm sorry. I apologize. But either way, they were talking to a Democrat mayor from a Texas city, and this is a Democrat, and he was like, we can't deal with this. This is too much for our city. And it was just so refreshing because he was admitting it wasn't about, what side he was on. He knew it was a problem. It was becoming a problem for his city because they're coming and they're just letting them here in my city. We can't have this. That
Democrat should become a Republican then.
I totally agree. And that's the only question I wanted him to ask. So, because as you say, the Biden administration, here's some of the Biden administration stuff.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, today I am going to teach you how to speak Bidenese. I'm going to teach you a few words, and then we'll get the proper pronunciation and context from the master himself, President Joe Biden. The first word I'm going to teach you today is Nexnolsrent. Nexnolsrent.
Nexnolsrent.
President Biden will now demonstrate this word for us.
Donald Trump does pose an Nexnolsrent to this. It's not hypothetical.
It's not hypothetical.
Anyway, that's just one, this guy found that thing. So maybe that's why he's confused. And what about, what happened? He went after Governor DeSantis. And so the reporter asked him, what about Governor DeSantis? Who? And so Governor DeSantis got him back and said, I'm not surprised he doesn't remember. I don't know what he remembers, something like that. I thought that was good. Yep. I thought that was good. Well, you and I have been big supporters of legal immigration. Probably that's kind of how we met over that, wasn't it?
Legal immigration.
We were fighting that topic at the very beginning in our old days of the Arizona Latino Republican Association. Yeah. And I think it's becoming more and more apparent to people as they figure out that we're not asking for unreasonable things, for identification and things like that. And we just can't sustain just dropping people in our cities and not even testing
them. A country
them.
Without borders is not a country.
Exactly. It really isn't. By the way, I did check in with Patty Castillo Porter. You remember she's our good friend that was organizing the demonstrations of where they were dropping the illegal aliens off in the hotels and taking care of them with lodging and food. And I said, what's the latest on that? I was going to ask her to come in. She couldn't come in today. She had a meeting. But they're still working on things. So we'll keep you posted on what's happening. The demonstrations are not happening right now. But, I think she's coming to our LD meeting tonight. So if you're interested, too, I'm sure she'll make an announcement there or give us an update. And, again, our LD 27 meeting is at 2070 East Baseline. George and I will be down there. Come down and say hi. But it's just... It drives me crazy. Now, our own Congressman Biggs, he's after it, man. Isn't he going after Mallorca? Have you heard about that?
He's going after who?
Mallorca. I think that's a Homeland Security guy. We need our guys to do stuff. Like this infrastructure bill, I put on there, I believe it was on Tucker last night, and he put up all the people, the Republicans, that supported that bill. I mean, what the heck, guys? We put you in there to vote for Republican and to help us. George and I were both precinct committeemen, and that's what we do. We're working hard to get good, solid Republicans in there. It's really difficult when we feel like we're not supported. You think that's going to change, George? You think that's going to change next year? I hope it does.
There's always going to be people that say one thing and then do something else, and that's sad.
It is sad.
Because we put our faith behind them and they just let us down.
I tell you what, though, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, But we've been doing this such a long time. And after a while, you work and you work and you work and you support. And you know what? At this point, George, I think you feel like I do. I want to support serious Republicans. That's one thing I liked about Trump. I wasn't a Trump person in the very beginning. You were. But man, that dude means business.
Yeah. I have a question about vaccines.
You want to talk about the vaccines?
Yeah. Why do you have to get it in the arm? Why can't you get it in your buttocks?
I don't know. Have you asked?
Is it a longer way to travel?
Why?
Just messing with you. Go ahead.
Maybe you're still thinking about Cuomo Nomo because of the
perverted
butt touching,
Cuomo Nomo,
butt grabbing. Using that little 3-letter word that starts with an A. I don't know. I'm still kind of uncomfortable saying that on the air.
Ass?
Yes.
Oh.
I'm
comfortable.
And and I always think too, if we say that, aren't we giving the Democrats more coverage?
Yeah, because they're
Did you
asses.
get that? Or their symbol is a donkey, ours is the strong, bold elephant,
jackasses.
And theirs is not. Okay, and our show has kind of gone this way, and that's good because we have one more minute. All right, George.
Okay.
We're going to LD27 right after this.
Yeah.
So see you guys there if you live in the Phoenix area. If you don't live in the Phoenix area and you're watching us from afar, thank you very much. We really appreciate it. The Chips and Salsa Show really appreciates it. Join our friends of the Chips and Salsa Show. That's got a lot of members. I share a lot of stuff on there. So does George. Things that you don't get at every page. So we appreciate you doing that. Anything in 5 seconds?
Don't drink and drive. Don't leave pets unattended in your vehicles.
Right. That's all good. Very good advice.
And watch your kids around the water.
Check out our new sponsor, Frontera Communications. I'm Alice Lara here with
Don Jorge.
We'll be back next Tuesday. Chips and Salsa Show, Central City Radio, Talk Central Phoenix. Guac on. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the week. Love you guys.